So welcome everyone. The topic is about restoring the feminine, on earth, restoring the feminine within us, and restoring the feminine on a collective consciousness. So it happens as you start to bring balance and restoration within you, you automatically start to anchor this restoration and balance within the earth and into the collective field. So it is absolutely happening at the same time, and this is why it's so important for us right now to prioritize this restoration of the feminine within us first. This body is it's like a conductor, it receives and it activates, it emits, it anchors, it transmits. So this body vehicle is a very important one, So where to even begin from? There's a lot to speak about, and there's a lot to actually do. Meditation with intentions, but there's a big responsibility right now to each and every one of us, and to take care of ourselves. So we're always learning, right? We're always learning deeper and more refined and more clearer ways how we take care of ourselves. This is part of the restoration of the feminine. So if we take a moment to even look back, even in just this lifetime, how we were maybe brought up. Maybe there are some lucky ones who had a very conscious family around them who were brought up in a particular way, but majority of us, we have been brought up very disconnected from the feminine. We have been brought up to learn, even to be numb from our feelings, how we feel, even suppressed from our truth, from our expression, from our way of communicating. And we've been conditioned to believe that we are here to go to school and then find a job and live the rest of your life struggling and pushing yourself and jumping from A to B to C to D to E and forgetting all about our cycles, our rhythms, pushing ourselves, using this mental body constantly has disconnected us from the present moment, has disconnected us from the flow of love that can flow through our hearts when we are in alignment. It has disconnected us from the grounds, from nourishment. Yes, when we are not rooted and grounded and connected with the earth, we are disconnected. from nourishment. So this imbalance of the great feminine, which of course we embody this physical form too, has been quite depleted. Yeah, we could say depleted from the qualities of the feminine. So if we go through, just to skim through, just to have like a broad, view of what the disconnections are in connection with our chakras. Let's go through it like this, so there is a bit of more understanding, right? So the disconnection of the feminine from your base is the nourishment you receive. And the nourishment that you receive, it actually comes from the earth. It lifts up from the earth, just like when you see a plant, then with enough richness of the soil, when everything is balanced, then a flower can bloom. That is the nourishment, that you receive. It comes from the base. When we are disconnected, there is a certain dryness inside of us. There's a certain dryness. And once we are back in harmony, in balance, in alignment, honoring the feminine, because the feminine means all the qualities of the feminine, then your base includes your body, because your body is connected with your base chakra, feels very nourished. So just to do a little review as I'm speaking about this. The second center is the sexuality, our sexual energy, our creative force. So again, it's the same inquiry. Every moment we are disconnected or numb or in our heads or functioning from some conditionings, there is no sexual force present. There is a lack of vitality and a lack of creativity because of the disconnection from this life creative force. So sexual energy can only flourish through us once we return back, once we honor, once we respect, once we get in touch, once we love. All aspects, all bodies, right here now. Now the solar plexus, it's kind of a middle passageway where sexual energy ideally flows up and through to come into the heart. Because if sexual energy gets stuck in the solar plexus, here is where it can become maybe a bit frustration, maybe can come up here, frustration or agitation, or even the conditionings of the solar plexus can actually become quite activated. They can become quite activated, and the impurities too can become activated, which is that inner control, that actually, with some, let's say, maybe insecurity or fear, the wanting to hold things as they are, the wanting to control everything. These are all the conditionings, the impurities of the solar plexus. So if there is a nice flow within you, if there is a certain allowance and honoring within you, then the vitality and the nourishment through the sexual energy can rise, as long as your solar plexus is not contracted, as if there is control. There is, even if it's coming from your lower centers, let's say insecurity is present, well, it's also going to twitch your solar plexus. So if you're soft, if you're open, then that lower nourishing energies will rise to the heart. And here is, where you as a woman as well, where you as the embodiment of the feminine start to reclaim already from here, because the lower centers, they're already connected, they're already moving through and with your heart center. You already have a sense of a deeper connection with you, already a deeper sense of intimacy with yourself. You already start to experience yourself directly, more lovingly, more respectfully, more honoring yourself. It's all so connected, yes, but this, from the lower centers to the heart, it is, you could say all, it's very nurturing, it's very sensual, and sexual force, can really start becoming more embodied within you, thus opening the solar plexus and meeting and connecting all of this in your heart. And your heart opens up like a fountain. It becomes like a fountain where all this nourishment, where all this creative force flows through you. Your heart starts opening. Your heart becomes like a fountain. And from the heart, what opens up here? Kindness. Yeah, kindness is a quality of the heart. A deeper kindness. A less conditioned kindness, or a higher vibration of kindness. So it's not the kindness of the mind, it's the kindness that flows through this fountain from your heart. Gratitude. This is what flows through your heart. Gratitude. Joy. Beauty. Embrace. A deeper acceptance. There's always a deeper acceptance. And all of these qualities, actually, they are the feminine itself. These qualities are what restores the feminine on earth. These qualities are all these bundles of energies which has been stripped away from this planet Earth, has been stripped away, has been disconnected, and we, right here and now, we are reconnecting, remembering these qualities. So as we are receiving these downloads of energies right now, through each and every body, in the degree of your openness, you are receiving a lot of downloads, a lot of high energies, a lot of beautiful qualities. And the more your heart is open to receive, to receive and restore, with the more actually abundantly it will keep flourishing. But at the same time, of course, this is so beautiful for every woman to return back to these higher qualities of the feminine. You know, the higher qualities of the feminine, we also can call them, if it resonates with you, goddess energies. Because the feminine force energy, it spirals higher and higher and higher and higher. It keeps going higher and higher and higher. Because energy is always evolving, it's always rising higher and higher. So, depending on what you resonate with, you can either see that these unconditioned energies, they are divine. They are divine. And divine, is the realm of gods and goddesses. Divinity, divine energies means that these energies are not conditioned by the lower feminine, by the society, by what we have learned and believed us as women should be or should function as. Okay, so right now, we are experiencing a lot. Yes, I'm sure everyone agrees on this. Even just this weekend, it's been like very intense. It doesn't stop. It keeps intensifying. And of course, in every moment, these influxes, these like high energies, these qualities. We are receiving a lot of beautiful qualities back into this body, and as they come in, as we receive these downloads, it's like constant combustions of energies within on a cellular level. It's always happening. We're always receiving and releasing the old as we speak, all the time. This is happening. As we speak, it's all happening, and it might feel very intense. You might feel a mixture of emotions, a mixture of energies. But what you feel, if it doesn't feel so pleasant, just remember that these are the lower feminine or the lower even masculine from within you, which you have adopted, and it's not your fault, by the way, but unconsciously or sometimes consciously have adopted. And we're simply clearing the lower feminine and the lower masculine, so that we can embody more of these higher qualities. And it's not just for ourselves, only. It's for the whole planet Earth. Yes, we are responsible, for ourselves first, but at the same time, we are responsible for this whole planet Earth, to bring this planet back to balance, like back to harmony, back to beauty and perfection. So I'm not speaking of conditional perfection, I'm speaking of a divine perfection. So, we are all one organism, all functioning in the same, let's say, like the same arena, like in one arena, and we're all functioning within this place. So whatever you receive within you, whatever inner work you're doing, that is rippling out. It's rippling out to all the beings around you, to your workmates, to wherever you go. You're actually helping to stabilize more balance and harmony, beauty, peace on earth. So it is quite a big operation, you could say. We are in the midst of a very big energetic operation on a collective scale. So our hearts is transforming big time. Our sexual energy is transforming big time. We are strengthening more, embodying more our higher selves. And it's rapidly, continuously changing. And that's also quite feminine, actually. We have been taught to really resist change, haven't we? Like, take a moment right now and meet or have a remembrance of a struggle in your life and why that struggle is experienced as a struggle. Because of resisting change. Whilst the feminine is a constant change anyways. So returning to that openness of this constant change is also part of restoring the feminine on earth and seeing the beauty of it. That life is a constant change. Our body is a constant change. All the energetics, they're tools. It's never the same. You never can step in the same river twice. It's always changing. Of course, you as awareness, seeing always, but everything else is always changing. So in your core essence, you are the one noticing it all. You are the one noticing it all. But it requires your openness, it requires a deep trust, it requires your trust to the unknown, it requires that, it requires your heart to remain open even in the midst of this chaos and constant change, and at the same time honoring change, honoring this transformation. And what about relationships? Because that too is part of the restoration. Bringing a higher harmony our relationships between friends, between partners, between family, yeah, all relationships. Many times maybe women focus a lot on intimate relationships to try to perfect that one out somehow. But it's about relearning the higher harmonized way in all relationships that would restore the feminine too. It goes into so much detail, you know, when we start to bring more awareness and prioritize a higher harmony. Harmony is already a restoration, is already bringing healing to us and to the planet and to the collective consciousness. So how about prioritizing a higher harmony? And what does higher harmony bring? Like higher harmony, to focus and prioritize on higher harmony, and with that comes through love. So we all know this planet needs a lot of love. Humanity needs a lot of love. Because love heals. Love heals distortions, dysfunctions, pain, suffering. Love heals, love liberates suffering. You know, if you know someone in your life who, you know, maybe still functions from some destructive ways of relating or actions or speech, you know, when you look deep down, what do you find? There's a lack of love, lack of acceptance and acknowledgement, a lack of harmony. So they're all like really all connected. Of course, first we must acknowledge our pain or suffering, dysfunctions, conditionings. With the acknowledgement, then can come acceptance. The acceptance of the heart, right? And from the acceptance, then we can move through a higher harmony, so that love can flourish through. And with love flourishes too bundles of energy streams that are all connected through our hearts. So women are a great example. You know, we are here embodying this body of the feminine. Of course, the feminine is within each and every human being. We all have inner masculine and inner feminine, but the feminine within the female body would be more predominant, be more within our like DNA structure. Plus, it is so like it is the soil. It is the soil. It is the earth. To enrich the earth, yeah, like to enrich the soil. So it's like the seeds so that all the beauty can flourish. And the beauty flourishes through you, directly from within you. As part of the earth, as part of this foundation that the soil is doing. So it's all also part of the cycles, all the cycles, qualities. When sometimes people would say, how I wish to have these qualities inside me, but I don't know how. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't feel them. I don't know what to do. And the first thing you can say, is that there's always an initiation. An initiation is a seed. It's part of the cycle. You need to have the seed and then to cultivate it so that can flourish. And until you maybe you receive an initiation, you receive a transmission, and then you cultivate that, like taking care of a garden full of roses. You need to cultivate that garden inside you, and that is part of the restoration of the feminine. And this is why it's so healing for women to come together, because every single one of you have different qualities, and you need to see your qualities. You need to see what fragrance, your inner garden, your fragrance. It's not about comparing anymore, that's expired now. It's not about becoming better than someone else, or feeling shy and hiding yourself on the other opposite direction. You are here to find your fragrance, your qualities. And you're here to cultivate that. Allow that to flourish through you. And allow that then to also be felt by others. You transmit that frequency. Because remember, this body, whatever is awakened here in this body becomes a transmitter, part of the restoration of the feminine. So there's many layers, many degrees of how important your qualities are to be cultivated, to be shared in relationships of any form, to be used for a higher purpose on this planet, for yourself and for others. So it's really time to come together, it's really time to hold each other's hands, lift each other up. When one is feeling slightly low, you can always be that support to one another, to remind each other. Yeah, support is also quite a feminine quality too. it's also a big task for all of us, because this world needs a lot of support. So I see all of these qualities in all of these ways, from relationships, from the relationship with yourself, from the relationship with your heart, the relationship with your sexuality. All of this has a play on earth right now. Relationship with joy. And this is how all the golden opportunities start really coming to us. Golden opportunities happen when we are like really open for transformation. We really allow all of, whatever is shaking you up right now, whatever is shaking you up, it is a golden opportunity in itself, because every shake-up has like a deeper, like it reveals your deeper gifts, your deeper qualities, which many times they are hidden under some clouds. Becomes abundant in so many ways, in so many deeper levels inside you.